Okay, hello everybody out there. You know what? It's February 9th. This is James Caldwell. Let's just go into this. I was not going to do this video, but I decided I had so much to say about this situation that I said, let's go on and do this. Um, Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's the end of this pillow talk party that Nene had, where everybody's basically airing out the dirty laundry and getting everything out on the table and going to clear it up, supposedly. Nene put the party together, um, and it just went haywire. Once Kenya got there, everything just kind of took off. They, went to attack the things Kenya had said, and it kind of just went from there. Now, the physicality began when Kenya got up and she went to approach Christopher Williams' wife. And Christopher grabbed her arm. Now, there's video footage. So, you can actually see what really went on. Christopher Williams grabbed Kenya's arm. He did that. And her little friend Brandon, the little gay guy that she hangs out with, he told him, do not put your hands on her. And at that point, Peter, who I like Peter, Peter came up, and if you watch very closely, Peter pushed Brandon, and then Peter grabbed Brandon in the throat and basically pinned him down. And Apollo actually aggressed as well. He pinned him down, and in the process of all of that going on, for whatever reason, Apollo commenced to whooping Brandon's ass. Okay, he'd cracked this boy's ribs and whatnot. The boy got a black eye, and just on and on. And the whole time, Peter is basically holding them. So they really did. And I like Apollo, but you didn't beat Brandon up per se. You know what I mean? Y'all didn't fight. He was being held down and you just beat his ass. That's what happened. Now, I don't know, because there's something not being said about the whole Apollo and Brandon thing. And I think there was some animosity that carried over from last season when Cordell and Brandon got into it. But I don't think Peter and them had anything to do with that. Baby, when Cordell and Brandon got into it, baby, that's two ladies fight. Let them fight. And y'all stay on out of it. But as far as this little situation, they kept saying Kenya's wrong. That was Nene's whole thing. Kenya's wrong for getting up out of her seat. And Brandon's wrong for saying something. And she goes to calling Brandon Queens, and he's the queen in the red nightgown, and all this disrespectful shit out of Nene's mouth, which I didn't care for. Um, Especially with the fact that Nene, you started this. You had this party. Your intentions weren't good with this party. You were shady. It is what it is. You're the queen. That's what you did. You were shady. But you're trying to throw this back on Kenya and Brandon. And they really wasn't. I don't really even like Kenya. I'm not a Kenya fan. And I'm not a fan of Brandon's. But I do go for what's right, what's wrong. It was not Kenya and Brandon's fault. There's something, like I said, that's not being said that has to do with Apollo and Brandon. I don't know what that is. And then I'm going to tell you another little piece. Once they start talking about it, and he's over at Kenya's house, and Brandon saying, that his ribs is cracked. And he goes right into queen mode, baby, just like I would. Oh, well, he cracked my ribs, and this, that, thing, and the other. Okay, you won that. But when he said, I have all the cards, I have all the cards, that's a queen statement. And we knew what that meant. I knew as a queen myself, I knew exactly what it meant. You have all the cards. You're either at this point, you're going to sue Phaedra and Apollo and get paid, or you're going to have him put in jail. I'm with you. I got you. All's fair in love and war. All's fair in love and war. But then you backpedal and you start talking about Phaedra's babies and Phaedra and him being a father and all this. Miss Brandon. You're gonna have to do better than that. Something ain't being said. We there's some conversations, or there's some gossip, or some tea that's been spilled, or I don't want to really get all into it. Maybe there's some man touching that been done, or maybe somebody accused somebody of some man touching. Something has gone on to make that go that way, but I don't want to spend any more time on that little thing right there. But I don't think it was Brandon's fault. That's just messy in general. But I really did feel sorry for Phaedra because Apollo had completely embarrassed her. at this function. It's always an issue about him and his background and all that. And he just proved everybody right by acting an ass in there. And I really felt sorry for Phaedra. I really did. Portia and her sister Dash, baby, they said, we're out of here. We're not ready to do this. This is ghetto as hell, and we're gone. And they left. That's the first time I ever seen that little girl make sense. She rolled. She was like, I don't have this to do. She left. Um, what is that thing too about Nene? Nene is constantly insulting Portia and Kenya this season. She's constantly insulting them whenever she gets a chance. She bullies them and she insults them like, they're not supposed to say anything back to her. I don't really care for that too much either. I've noticed that. That little bullying gig, I'm not really down with that. That's really ugly. And all I've seen this season from Nene is her throwing stones, hiding her hands, and just acting kind of ugly. I don't really care for it. Um, Child, wait a minute. This is hilarious. Chuck and Monique. What the hell is that business? Chuck just let everybody have it about everybody's on his team earlier in the season and he done screwed everybody and, they was all jump offs and this, that, and the other. Baby, when the shit went down, why was Chuck hiding behind Monique, behind the bookcase, baby? Wasn't going to move. The video is worth a million words. His face was given, please don't nobody come over here and whoop my ass, honey, because he had done talked way too much shit. And he's back in the corner, baby. He didn't want anybody to go to whooping on that ass. And he was hiding behind Monique, baby. She was standing up in front of him like a gladiator, baby. Hilarious. I hope y'all seen that. If you didn't see it, catch it in the rerun. Hiding his ass behind his wife. Ridiculous. Now, the other thing, Kandi. Kandi, I wasn't a real big Kandi fan. She's cool. She be crying all the time, and I think she gets a raw deal a lot. But poor thing, she's always crying. I love her talent. I love her hustle, and I'm with that. I live for a girl that understands that multiple streams of income is necessary in this day and age. So I live for Kandi's hustle, but I was never really big on Team Kandi. This season, Kandi been catching a real rough ride. And I think she's done real well with holding everything together. And she deserved a blow up. It was just time. If you keep on, somebody's gonna snap out. So I was cool with her blowing up. And I honestly didn't believe she owed anybody an apology when she did the little tea thing. She didn't owe nobody no apology. She really didn't. She owed absolutely no one an apology. She said everything that needed to be said. That whole little situation, Cynthia was off the hook. Really, Cynthia? Really? You're a model. Honey, you're not supposed to talk. Sit down and shut up. Sit down and hush until somebody tells you it's time to walk the runway. You don't fight. You don't argue. Bitch, you're not tough. Mallory's in the room. Okay, that's cool. But I don't believe that punks are supposed to be tough even when their backup is in the room. When the backup's in the room, you still chill. And if somebody jump on you, then the backup take it up. But bitch, you don't go starting trouble because your backup's in the room. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. I thought it was really tacky. And not only that, throughout the season, Cynthia, you've been running your face too much. Every time I turn around, you're somewhere with someone talking about Kandi, and then you're running back and forth, bringing the bone and carrying the bone. Don't like it. It's not cute. And then on the other side of it, you let Nene talk to you like you a goddamn fool. Go on somewhere and sit down, Cynthia. She's playing games. But anyhow, Peter was bouncing back and forth like he was in a tennis match. I thought he was the triplet for Serena and her sister in the daggone tennis match. It was ridiculous. He's going back and forth. Then he going to talk all bad to Todd and all this. And now that's what got all. They had squashed the little situation, when Cynthia got in Kandi's face. And Kandi kind of told her, bring it on down because I'm not the one. She knows Kandi will bust her up. I watched, and you have to watch very closely. Mallory came up. Mallory was hitting her ass off on the slide. She pushed Kandi. She pushed Todd twice, but she pushed him really hard the second time right before she pushed Kandi. And she didn't push Kandi until they were like really in between her. She couldn't get her. And I didn't care for that. You can see it really good when they go back through the events and when they're at the little tea. And Kandi talking about Mallory was hitting folks left and right on the slide. I did not care for that. And I still say, and I stand behind it, Kandi, baby, you didn't owe anybody an apology for anything because you didn't do anything wrong. I understand being that person because you're the loudest, and once it takes you a minute to get started, but once you get started, you're the last one to shut up. She's the last one to stop fighting. I understand that, girl. I've been that girl, honey. I understand you. I got you. But I didn't care for how it went. I didn't care for how all the blame shifting was going on. It took me too close to my own personal stuff. I didn't care for it. I said, the good thing with this, there's video footage. And we can see what actually happened. And anybody can say what they want to say. There's video footage. Okay? Because I've been that person that's been in a room full of people. There's 7 or 8 people in the room. And then all of a sudden, 3 people don't remember what was said, but the other 6 or 4 people or whatever, they remember, but then all of a sudden now it wasn't said because these 3 clowns decided to. I've been in that situation. They got video footage. Pay attention, people. Mallory's ass was running around hitting Apollo. What was that all about? When Phaedra asked Apollo what actually happened last night, he went to explaining the events of what happened. What the hell pageant was Apollo at? Because my score sheets didn't look shit like his score sheets. He was talking about, so I don't know what the hell he was talking about. He went on and on and on, and Phaedra looked at him like, "Baby, that ain't what happened." That one, I don't know what Apollo was on. He was just out of order. He got some issue with Brandon. He needed to clear that up, keep it all up out of his house, and keep it moving. But I just had to go ahead and do this video because I had so many feelings about the things that was going on this mess here tonight. I will have to say, entertainment value, it was up high because, honest to goodness, I don't think I've watched a whole episode this whole season. I'll watch part and then I kind of start straying off doing things in the house. Tonight I actually watched the whole episode, so it was very interesting, and it kept me engaged the whole time. But I was feeling some kind of way. There was a lot of clowning going on over in Atlanta this evening. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Again, this is part of my series. I'm just saying, you can agree with me or don't agree with me. Like I said, there's video footage. And you can see all the hitting and the shade and the bouncing conversations. Because there's video footage. And I'm just saying, I paid attention. Did you? And on that note, I'm going to call it a night. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all real soon.